Turn off the lights and roll down the window shades. We can't go outside 'cause the world is hidden away. Ghosts are running wild in these empty streets tonight. But here we are together, baby, laying side by side. Ain't no sense in making things worse. Let's hold on tight and we'll try to break this curse. 'Cause we had everything we wanted, then we fucked it up. We had everything we needed, but it wasn't enough. And ain't it strange how we keep falling in and out of love?
Here we are again. We've been doing this podcast over 4 years. This is the fourth. Great intro song, by the way, producer Dunk.
Yeah, thank you.
This is I know there's some sickos out here that listen to our podcast too that probably look forward to this episode every year, where we just have to
talk about the
Leafs being put out of the playoffs season. Again.
Once again.
Yeah, failed season once again is right, and that's we're what 3 days removed from it.
Yeah, we've had time to process it, which has probably been good for us in a way, but
yeah, sometimes we've other years we've recorded right after, thinking
it almost would have been nice in a way, just for the fact that
get it out of the way,
not having to see all the following stuff in the socials and stuff.
Yeah,
we just say what we think in the moment, and then now we're at the point where it's just been pure Leaf hatred and everything else and negativity the last 3 days, which it should be, I guess.
How much of it have you seen? Because I have been a ghost on Twitter.
I haven't seen. I haven't been on yours much either. Did
you guys see my tweet Saturday morning?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I was on, but like.
No, I
wasn't on to see that much of stuff that happened over the weekend.
Should I pull it up?
No, that's okay. But it's I post a picture too. But I so quick my weekend. I was in Toronto for the whole weekend, which not necessarily like the best place to be when you're in mourning. After a Friday night loss, but it turned out good because there's another sports team in town, and one that I'm all in on now, the Blue Jays, and we got to go to a Blue Jay game Saturday. I just tweeted that the official Leaf thoughts are going to be coming on this episode, and I will not be thinking about Leafs until this episode, which I haven't, except
I didn't really either over the weekend.
I haven't thought about hockey or Leafs, just tried to, obviously. There's everyone coming up to you being like, oh, Leafs got put out again, eh? It's so funny. Like,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great getting those texts and those comments from people at work and everything too. But I told you boys I was working in Cambridge today, and it was like a 45-minute ride back to Wellesley. So I put on Leafs Talk with JD Bunkus, Justin Bourne, Sam McKee. They do a great job all year. They hop on a Zoom after every single Leaf game and give immediate reaction, immediate thoughts. Normally I don't even listen to the ones after they lose, but every time they win, of course I do. I can't get enough. But so obviously didn't listen to that one until now, just on the way home. So
to fuel the fire.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I wanted to feel it again.
One last time.
I wanted to get sad. I wanted to get mad. And here we are talking about it. So the game.
Yes, yeah, I was going to say, like, let's just start with Game 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think the Leafs played good enough to win it.
Yep.
I mean, it was back and forth all game. Obviously, an extreme miscall on that goal that did cross the goal line.
The puck's in the net.
That obviously changes the game, but with that being said, that bounce could have easily gone the other way too. Mm-hmm. We put ourselves in the position of being down 3-0 and having to win 4 straight. And to me, that was just a game that could have gone either way. And unfortunately, the bounces didn't go our way. I think we played good enough. And, maybe if we were able to win one of those other games, we're down 3-2 heading into a Game 6. But those 3 games just shot us completely in the foot. And, You know, all the bounces had to go our way to win 4 straight, and
The biggest problem for me was just, especially after Nylander scored that goal to make it 2-2, everything in me, everything in my body believed that, one, the Leafs were winning that game, and two, the Leafs had a decent chance to come back and, make some history. Win that series.
What was it, 5 minutes left?
When he scored,
when Willie
roughly.
scored? Yeah.
And it, again, should have been the 3-2 goal. But
electric moment, though. I was like, no way. Like, here we are. Like, this is where it all starts.
And Willie, and like, we're going to get into some of the players, too. If there's negativity on William Nylander from that Florida series, it's not, there shouldn't be.
No.
He was their best forward the whole series.
Yeah.
For sure. And other than Morgan Riley and maybe Joseph Wall, their best player.
Yeah. No,
I would say...
I don't think you can argue that.
No, and Samsonov, when he was in for none of the games were his fault
Samsonov
either.
didn't cause any problems for the Leafs.
But I fully, I just fully believed, and just watching that overtime goal.
And there's so many scoring chances we had before that.
Yeah.
Like Matthews in tight. Like
Tavares on a power play, if he would have slid one over to Matthews had most of the net on that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what's so tough about it, because you look at it and it's like, the Leafs lost 4-1, like a horrible series for the Leafs.
No.
Yeah, for sure it was a horrible series for the Leafs, but the last 2 games, we played good enough to win both those games.
I don't even want to say horrible series for the Leafs. Like, I think game 2.
The first 2 games,
No, I think the first game and the third game, they deserved to lose. Game 2, I remember watching that game, and they were like, that was the game Bobrovsky just stood on his head for the last 6 minutes of the game when they had chance after chance after chance.
No, but at the end of the day, it is 4-1, and that is a horrible series. Like, the Leafs should not have been 4-1.
No.
Regardless of the bounces that went their way didn't go their way.
Yeah.
We can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I don't know. It's just. It's horrible. Like, okay, so it's horrible.
Let's enter the criticism of the game and the series, that portion of the show. Who in your mind, if I'd say generally we're on the more positive side of Leafs and of Leaf fans. Like, if you took about it a whole, we're at the more glass half full usually, as we try to do on this podcast, as we've said. In your mind, in the series, in this playoffs, in the season, is there just playoffs, actually, just that Florida series? Because we can both agree the Tampa series was tight. The Leafs, they were awesome.
Yes, that was honestly just a great back and forth series. Like, I didn't really feel like the Leafs actually had I think the first game, obviously they got lit up, but besides that, I thought the Leafs, their Leafs were in every game. That was just a back and forth series, and it just felt like the Leafs played pretty well, complete games most of the time. There was always I feel like 10 minutes of a game where they kind of suck, but that happens with every team.
But at the end of the day in that series, they were good enough to win.
They were good enough to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So put the Tampa series aside. If you're just looking at the Florida series, who's most to blame, would you say?
I don't know. It's tough to put it on a player, because I don't necessarily think it was a player. I honestly just think it was the things like the special teams, just that, the big four or whatever, just being productive in a situation like that when you need a goal sometimes. Sometimes you have to have a power play goal. You gotta find a way to get in the back of the net, and I don't know. I didn't really feel like there was certain players that I was they're having a rough game. I just felt especially in the early 3 games, it was just sloppiness in the entire team around. I just felt like they all kind of they either all played really well together, or they were just missing something in games. So I don't really know if you can pinpoint it on the player for from my perspective anyway. I just thought the neutral zone, the passing in the first 3 games was so extremely sloppy. They couldn't make a tape to tape pass without bobbling it or just firing it away from the guy. I don't know. I don't want to shit on the big four, because they've been so good for us, and they did have plenty of scoring chances in that Florida series. But obviously, if you want to continue, if you want to play in the next round, at the end of the day, your big guys do have to score goals, and that sucks to say because I love all those four deeply. Like I want all those four guys to be a Leaf the rest of their career, yada yada. Like I do love them, but at the end of the day, they did not have the production that they needed to in order to get past Florida. Like you look at like what a guy like Matthew Tkachuk did. I don't think he scored that many goals, but holy shit, I think he had twice as many assists as games played or something. Like they were just like, if you're not scoring, like their guys were finding ways to at least get points. Like, I don't know.
Matthews and Marner is my answer.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
like we said, Willie best forward in that series. I don't think he deserves any of the blame.
And Tavares, Tavares, he just wasn't that dangerous in that series either. Like
Tavares his whole career, and I'm happy that Tavares is the one out of those four that you can confidently say is going to be there the rest of his career. He has a full no trade clause. He has 3 kids. He lives in Toronto. He ain't going anywhere.
No,
he's finishing his 2 years.
I totally agree.
Probably being done after that. So he is going to finish out his career there. And he deserves a bit of criticism too, just putting the puck in the net, because that's what he's done his whole career. Yeah. He's been able to do that, and he just wasn't quite in this series, which obviously hurts. And then Mitch Marner, he obviously got the 1 goal in game 2 as a floater from the point that hit a shin pad. It's a goal, but Matthews didn't have a goal. I think Austin Matthews is a top 5 player in the league still, and I think whatever he wants in his contract, I think he's the one that you just you give him that. Like, I don't want him to go anywhere. If he wants 8 times whatever it is,
if he becomes the highest paid player in the league,
it's not ideal.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, yeah,
definitely not ideal,
totally
and it's gonna give us headaches in the future. But I think you just whatever Matthews wants, you pay him. Like he's gonna,
and he wants to sign
year by year. He's gonna give you 50 goals or close to. And I like
you're not going to replace that with draft picks.
And he scored 5 goals in 6 games in the first series against Tampa.
Yeah,
and his
that's what's
overall,
so disappointing. Like,
I wonder, can you look up Mitch Marner's playoff? Can you look up Mitch Marner's playoff stats? Just read that, because I know Matthews.
I think Marner still finished like top 10 in total, like as of now.
Yeah. Yeah,
but because I think in the first round in the 6 games in Tampa,
he had a shit ton of assists.
Yeah, well, the big four had a combined 36 points,
and that's what you need to win.
I don't even know if it was 10 points combined in the second round.
I would just like to, Mitch Marner's playoff.
I got him here. 11 games played, 3 goals, 11 assists. So that's 14 points.
That's this. See if you can find his career. But
career playoffs.
Yeah,
is 50 games played.
Yeah.
10 goals, 37 assists, 47 points. Yeah, on pace for a point per game.
Yeah.
But I do, like, obviously you can't just, like, I know it's, like, so easy to look at the stats and look at the offense and what they were able to produce, but Mitch Marner, he had a lot of soft, like, plays, like, just, like, things like not even getting the puck out of the end, just trying to do something almost like like a little, like, flick or, like, a whatever it was. There was just too many times where I thought, like, the Leafs just, like, they tried to make, like, the whatever, like the perfect breakout pass or whatever, and sometimes you just got to get the damn puck out of your end.
I just thought in the offensive zone, because I do like Mitch Marner's defensive game, and he was still good on the penalty kill, but yeah, you're right, there were some plays where there's just like big turnovers. But I thought the biggest thing for Marner in the series was he wasn't really taking pucks to the net, and he's not a big guy, so he's not going to be able to, like, bulldoze to the net like Matthews can when he's flying. But Marner throughout the season, like, made a move on a D and then took it to the net and did that. This time he was kind of just taking shots from the outside, and he doesn't have a hard shot.
No.
So when you're a guy like that, and he's a pass first guy, and he has some great assists, but I just thought he could have taken it to the net a little more. But I love Marner too, and I think if there's I hear the criticism on Matthews and Marner, and I think it's fair for the series, because your 2 best forwards have to have goals for you in a series you're going to win. Mm-hmm. There's just no doubt about it. And offensively, David Kampf and Sam Lafferty look just as dangerous as those guys did at times.
Well, and think about it, if, like, guys like Tavares and O'Reilly were, like, firing on all the cylinders, like, that could have opened up easier matchups for guys like Matthews and Marner at times. Like, it would have changed the complex. Like, they just didn't have that, like like Tavares and O'Reilly, for what they needed to be, they weren't those guys in the second round. With Matthews and Marner kind of struggling a little bit, like Matthew, or like they just never really like you just wonder if like they would have got him over the hump a little bit sooner, or just like whatever, like Tavares and O'Reilly, if it just would have like. I don't know, just like the team effect thing or whatever.
But
like,
I just
it's
thought,
so easy to like say that, but
for sure, I just thought with those two, like obviously later on in their career, I thought they did enough, but like because we didn't get them to run the show for us on like. Well, Tavares we did when we got him, but as far as this year goes, Tavares and O'Reilly are not going to be able. Like if they were our best offensive players in a series, that probably means the series didn't go great.
Tavares.
If Tavares and O'Reilly, I would say, were our best offensive players.
Yeah,
like
but I think we should expect that almost in a way too. Like Tavares is our captain. He's a point per game player throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
Like why can't he put us on his back a little bit? Why does it have to be Matthews and Marner?
Well, I just don't think Tavares is quite good enough anymore to put the whole team on his back.
But the thing is, he's still producing the same way he was in New York in his past seasons in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand like the comments with like just in general, not just like just everyone. Like I don't really think Tavares is like dropped off really. Like,
no, I disagree.
He
with
might not
too.
have his speed, but like he's still such an efficient hockey player out there.
I think maybe like the speed makes it that he has dropped off a tiny bit. Yeah, but I agree. I'm way more on your side than the other sides were saying. Like, oh man, if we could just get rid of him, that would be huge. No,
he's not the problem. It's just like obviously it makes it harder when you have 3 guys making over $10 million.
My point was just if if they could have been the second tier down on the offensive level with Matthews and Marner and Nylander running the show, I mean, like that's what you need to win championships. Like you need your best players to be your best players, and
that's true.
When history wise for the Leafs, those two just haven't been able to do it. They are 26. I mean, how many years can you say like they're still young? And I'm not saying they're still young because they're in the prime of their career.
Yeah,
and like they only have a few more years left in their prime. Like they're going to be good for a long time, but like probably 3 more years of like, could be best players in the league for sure.
Yeah.
Or like obviously McKinnon and McDavid are up there, but Oilers, bye.
Yeah,
bye
true.
bye. By the way,
Oilers, bye. Yeah.
I mean, looking ahead to next year. Let's
the thing.
Let's do that. Let's do that quick. It sucks. Let's just like
before we talk about we'll talk about the UFAs and RFAs they have, but let's just like quickly like. The big 4 they have now. Any changes?
On the big 4, this is kind of like this is not. I'm not saying this is what I want to happen, but this Matthews, that's the big question mark. You're either gonna.
There was comments today. I don't know if you've seen him or not.
He wants to be back.
Yeah, he does want to sign, which was a sigh of relief for sure.
Definitely.
Obviously, actions speak louder than words, so hopefully that does happen.
Yeah,
but...
and Nylander, I don't believe is going anywhere in the off season because he only has 1 year left. So you're not like if you were to look to shop Willie, you're just shopping him for his year next year.
Right, but so I think it would be like a Bo Horvat thing. Like
maybe
it would almost be like
maybe
assume that there's going to be an extension there.
Yeah,
because like Vancouver got a piss ton for Bo Horvat.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they got quite a bit for him.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I just think that like the value wouldn't be quite there based on the contract because his next contract is going to be bigger too.
Yes, for sure.
So is the team going to be ready to give him 10.5 for another 6 years? Are the Leafs going to be able to do that even? Not likely. That terrifies me. What I'm saying, I think Willie's back next year on his like I think he's going to play out the season and then we'll see where we're at in the offseason with him. If he's either going to walk or they're going to be able to sign him for a lot. Or they're going to have to sign him for a lot.
Which is scary.
Scary. But I think he's back. Marner and then Matthews is the contract you got to figure out. And Tavares, we already said there's nothing happening there. He has a no move clause.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. Marner's the question mark for me.
Really?
I think he's if there were to be one out of the top 4 that made the most sense in a deal.
Really?
I think I don't want that.
No, I know you don't want that.
I don't want that. But like if you're thinking of what you can get the most for,
I still think Willie it has a ton of value even with 1 year left.
Yeah, Marner's so much more with 3 years.
I know, but I don't think Willie having 1 year left takes anything off of his value.
I think it does.
I don't think it does.
It always has. Like if if you have some length in the contract, you're more valuable.
Yes, but like if there's kind of like a mutual understanding that an extension is going to happen, then there's no value taken off.
Maybe if there's a bottom tier team that has never like a Columbus or like a San Jose something if it's a team like that that's just like, yeah, we just need a stud, so we'll sign you for this if you get traded, then maybe. But I don't know. I don't want to think about that because I don't want Willie gone at all, and I don't want Marner gone.
I know. I know.
I do think and we're gonna find things out in the next few days here. Who's going to be making these decisions? Because we don't know for sure that's going to be Kyle Dubas. I really hope it is Kyle Dubas. And Brendan Shanahan's like, that's still a question mark.
Yeah.
Like those press conferences, I think are happening like as we speak. Like they're happening today on Monday.
Yeah, I think that closing whatever to the season happened today.
Yeah, so maybe on Tuesday when you guys are listening to this, that we will know more. But I don't know. If I had it my way, as far as management and coaching staff goes, I think Shanahan and Dubas have done so much good that other people wouldn't have been able to maybe get done. I have no problem with them, as like that. A lot of people do.
I don't have any problem with them.
And I can't really blame people because it's a result based company.
What about the people that were sucking every nut Dubas had when he made the trade for O'Reilly, though?
Every nut
like that was like the most genius trade ever when that trade happened.
Yeah, for sure. And I love the trade.
Like everyone was just like, Dubas is the best. Like, how did he even make that happen? Like, you know, blah, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Like two teams retained money on O'Reilly. Like,
and he's got the passion. We've seen that.
He's
got spats
almost like too much passion for the public at times.
Almost a little bit,
like
which
you don't
I love.
See too many GMs. Oh, I love it too.
I love it.
I love that he feels that way.
Yeah.
But obviously, you don't see most GMs react that
he
way.
said, like you could read the lips so perfectly, and, and it was in the net.
Spets probably gets some going up there too.
Oh, definitely. But so I want them back. Keith, I've been a supporter of Keith. I've liked Keith. I've liked what he's done. I wouldn't mind seeing a new set of eyes behind the bench.
I think if there has to be a change out of the Big Four management, whatever, I think it's the head coach for me.
I think so
and
too.
It's no disrespect to Keith, but
I think he's done good. I think he got I think he got out coached by Paul Maurice though.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, and while we're just talking about that, like, congrats to Florida. Like, holy shit, the 8th seed beats Boston, 65 wins, takes Toronto in 5. Like, obviously,
I
wild
hate them
for Florida, but
I
do
hate
that
Radko Gudas's guts.
Yes,
man.
yes, that is an understatement.
Yeah, and Cousins, I hate him. Kachuk, I hate him.
Yeah,
Bennett, definitely.
Yeah, Bennett's a you know what.
Anyways,
but congrats to Florida because
kind of.
Whoever would have thought they would be Boston and Toronto?
No, yep, for sure.
But anyway,
and next episode we will talk about the series that are still going. Not this episode.
Yeah,
I'm not.
No, I mean this round's still in their way, so there's no sense. You know, we don't even know the West final yet. So that happens tonight, Game 7, Monday night, as we're recording Monday. Seattle and Dallas.
Dallas, right?
We'll be playing Vegas.
Go Seattle.
Yeah, sure.
I want the 2 expansion teams to battle it out. Yeah.
Why not?
Yep. Why not us?
Yeah.
Why not them?
But you want to go through the Leafs, UFAs, RFAs?
Yeah, because we talked coaching staff. I think I'd be fine if there was a full bench overhaul. Bring in a new set of eyes, see what they can do.
The power play too, like just whatever.
UFAs.
Change up everything. Well, we'll start with our biggest one here, Ryan O'Reilly. He's 34, so I kind of feel like the impression from like a lot of those like basic Leaf fans was that he'll be like the next Joe Thornton, Jason Spezza, Giordano type of guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But at age 34, O'Reilly could easily play another 3 to 4 years. So I don't really anticipate O'Reilly coming back for cheap if he does come back.
I don't think he'll be back.
Like based off of what the Leafs already have owed next year, it is hard to imagine him being back because I think he was making under 2 with all the retention he had this past year. That's definitely not happening next year.
Yeah, I think he's probably gonna go get one more decent contract, and I don't think he'll be back, unfortunately.
No, I don't think so either. Unfortunate.
I would love if he was, obviously.
Me too. The next one who is making a big cap hit of this year, 3.5 mil, Alexander Kerfoot. Been with the Leafs for a few years.
Bye.
Let's say it's 1.5 or 2.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'd need somebody else in there.
I think that has to be a different player as well.
Yeah,
I think it has to be.
Bye.
Yeah.
I hope he goes somewhere and succeeds.
I do too. Nothing against Kerfoot,
No.
but I just think with all the failure that we've had,
Has to be a change
has
there.
to be a change.
Goodbye, Kerfoot.
Yep.
So far we're 2 for 2. By the
So
way.
far we're 2 for 2 with exits. Next on, I'm just going down this list here,
Yeah.
type of thing. It's just random. Justin Hall.
You're reading the UFAs, right?
Yep, these are UFAs so far. He's been that guy in the trade block, what seems like the last 3 years.
And the whipping boy.
The whipping boy for sure. He was making $2 million this past season. Justin Hall. I mean, I don't think he's back just because of whatever change, this and that. Unless maybe it's the right price, but
Yeah, if
it's cheap, but
if it's $2 million or under again, I would be fine. I would be more than okay if he's back.
like, do we think he's back?
Probably not.
I honestly don't think so either. I just think that's
I think probably he wants out.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
And
if he
don't
does.
blame him one bit.
He's got his.
If he hates the
ass
fan
smacked
base,
by Leaf fans for the last 3 years.
if he hates all Leaf fans, I wouldn't blame him one bit. I hope if we could have a conversation with him and we could, tell him what we've been for him.
Yes.
Remember when Babcock just banished him to the press box and we were like, get this guy in the lineup.
Yeah, and
let him
good
play a
numbers
game.
while he was in the lineup.
But Justin's time likely has come to an end as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
All right. Next one, we're going to go with, just next on the list here. David Camp, fourth line center, one of the better forwards in this past series that we just talked about. He made 1.5 this past year. If he makes anything under 2 or even 2.5, I think he could be that third line center if you needed him to be. I wouldn't mind seeing David Camp back. I think he's a great PK guy.
I would like to see him back, and I think there's a chance he's back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm optimistic on that one.
So that's our first optimistic one, I'd say.
Yep. Next, trade deadline acquisition. Noel Achari made 1.25 as his cap hit with the Leafs. He might have been making it
Close to 3.
Yeah, but with retention, he was making 1.25 on the
How
books
old
for
is
the
he?
Leafs. Noel Achari is.
He's got to be 29, 30.
He is 32.
32.
Wow. So, looking at that, I could see him being back for a reasonable price.
I would love if they could give him
Give him some term. Give him 3 years.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
For sure.
And you saw, he was getting 10 hits a game in playoffs.
Yeah.
He was one of our more important forwards in playoffs and down the stretch. I would love, and I think it's possible, and I saw a tweet today saying he's very open to it.
Yeah, no, I would love to see that.
So I give him 3 to 4 years. Yeah, that contract. Do you remember Brandon Tanev with Pittsburgh? I think he signed.
Yeah.
6 years, 2.5 or 3.5 or something.
Yeah.
Give Noel Ajari 2.5 times 4.
Yeah. No, I would love Achari back.
Who says no?
I don't.
Leafs or Noel?
Yeah.
Hopefully not any of them.
Next one on the book. This will probably be one of the most intriguing options this summer. Michael Bunting made under $1 million the past 2 seasons.
Gone.
He is now a UFA.
Gone.
It's hard to tell what type of point production he'll be if he didn't play with guys like Matthews and Marner for an entire year or whatever. But
he's gone.
Yeah, I don't see him come back either. I wonder what his contract will be though, because I think that one's a hard one to predict.
He's gonna get 5.5 or 6 mil.
Yeah, I guess, but
there's gonna be a team that would sign him and love his services, and they don't care that he's played with he's very valuable on a team.
I agree. I totally agree.
If the Leafs could get him back, I don't think it's the worst thing, but I also am fine with getting some new bodies in there, and we're not gonna be able to afford him.
No, and we just got this opens up a spot for a guy like Matthew Nyes.
Yeah.
And now you're paying
Bunting
way cheap.
Gone.
Yes.
I would say it's as close to a guarantee as it gets.
Yep, I agree. The Wayne train.
If he wants another, if he wants 750, I will happily have him for 7 games a year. I would love if the Wayne train was back on he was just the practice guy.
Yeah.
And play a few games, the games that didn't really matter. And, he could punch a couple faces in when he got in.
Yeah, why
Wayne
not?
Train, bring him back. 750. Come on, Wayne. Welcome to the locker room. Great locker room guy, too.
I think we're going to have similar feelings towards this next guy, too.
Yeah.
Defenseman
Give him 10
Luke
years.
Shen made $850K last season.
Give him 10.
Yeah, I would love to see Shen back. Like, just
That's
get him
all.
back.
That one's
Get him
up to
back.
that. That's one of the ones like Gio. I think the Leafs will if it's Dubas on the helm or whoever it may be. I would hope you're just like to Luke. If you want back, we'll give you $1 million. We'll give you 800. Like it's just gonna keep doing 1-year contracts like they've done with Gio and stuff. But that one's up to Luke. So if Luke wants back, I do think he is back.
Yeah.
If Luke doesn't want back and he wants to, go out west, I think he's from Vancouver area. I could see him.
That's the only other thing I could really see.
I could see him going back to the
happening
Nucks
at this stage
to
in
be
his
close to
career.
home.
Yeah.
But that one I'd say is like 50-50 because it's all up to him. I would say that one.
Dunk, can you search Mark Giordano's contract? He doesn't show up as a UFA.
Oh, I think he does have one more year.
Does he?
He signed 2 at the start of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was just kind of an interesting one because it felt like he kind of like lost playing time the further we went into that Florida series.
It is it is a 2-year,
Yeah, it was a
1.6
2-year?
million.
Okay. So Gio is back for 1.6.
Yeah.
And
I think wasn't the 1.6? Was he? He's not making 1.6 a year.
Oh yeah, I think he's making 800.
Yeah, 800 a year.
Yeah.
So,
bring him back for 800K, of course.
And legend of the game, and he's block shot leader in the world.
Yep. Next one here is Zach Aston Reese. This one's kind of just whatever to me. Like that one will be either filled with him or someone else making the same money as him.
Yep.
So
that's depends what they.
That just depends. Yeah.
I think likely. I think it'd be more likely that he's not back than he's back.
I would agree with that. This next one, kind of a somewhat interesting one. It's hard to say though. Eric Gustafsson didn't see a ton of ice time during the Leafs playoff run.
Yeah.
But he definitely did see some ice time and did have some important minutes.
I wonder what he's asking.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like to me, if he is under 2, I don't know.
I don't think he will be because he had the
he
most.
was making 800 with the Leafs. I'm sure there was some salary retention on that, but
he had the most points out of Leafs defensemen in the season. Obviously, pretty much all those points came with Washington.
Yeah,
but he had more points than any Leaf. Like people forget his offensive touch, and he got the one big goal. I would if there's a way to sign him, I would be very happy.
I agree. I think a full season with that roster could be like.
I think he is your PP1 guy. Nothing against Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley was awesome in playoffs. If Gustafsson can have a whole year at PP1, I think he could put up some big numbers. I'd be very happy if they signed Eric Gustafsson.
I agree.
I don't know what he's going to be asking for. That's the only problem.
Nope. Let's go to the RFAs here.
Mm-hmm.
We actually don't have a ton of notable RFAs, except for our goaltender, Ilya Samsonov, who signed a 1-year deal with the Leafs last year.
He's a UFA, right? Yeah.
No, he's an RFA.
What?
Yeah, because he's still pretty young. Like Washington just kind of gave up on him.
Samsonov?
Yeah.
Is he not a UFA?
No, he's an RFA.
So he's our property.
Yeah. Like we. But
I think
that's what it's showing here anyway.
Like from what I'm hearing, like
he's 26, so that would make sense that he'd still be an RFA.
What?
Yeah. Or 23, 24. Yeah, he's an RFA. His status.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think he's gone for sure.
I think he is too.
Because I think he can sign a decent contract after the year he just had.
And he deserves to get a payday. And I think we're at that point where, to me, Joseph Woll has to be the goaltender.
Yeah.
Next year with a good backup.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be Murray.
I don't know if it will be either.
They would have to buy him out.
Yeah, or trade him with a pick.
Yeah.
Because he is making over 3. That is kind of a lot for a backup goalie.
Definitely. But,
I would be surprised, but again, we'll have to see.
I think he's probably your backup to start the year, Murray.
I think it all depends, like, what they kind of go after this offseason. Like, if they need the extra cap space, I don't think they're going to be like, hey, let's hold in the Murray. Like, I don't know. We'll also have to wait and see.
Yeah.
RFAs, that's honestly pretty much it. Like,
yeah, so that's a lot of new players.
Yeah.
Which
we talked about 3 or 4 defensemen and about 5 or 6 forwards there.
Yeah, so I think you're going to see a very different roster next year. I mean, that's good. That's I think on to next year.
Yeah, but I know, dude, but it is on the next year. Like we don't have another choice, but man, it's still just like.
It hurts.
Why?
It hurts.
Why?
I was watching the Friday night game in Maple Leaf Square. I was kind of in the further back area, Zone 2 they called it, and I just the sound you could hear in Toronto, obviously city buzzing on a night like that. Jays were in town. There was some concerts.
Beauty night too.
Beauty night. It was city buzzing. Awesome to be there. It would have been awesome to be there if they won. When the Leafs got scored on in overtime, all the TVs outside, there was a bunch of, obviously the one big screen you see, but there's a lot of other big ones everywhere around. It went black. Like the screens went black about 5 seconds after the goal. They don't even show like other stuff. Literally screens went black and you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet.
Really?
Until people started just like yelling, angry and whatever. But I just stood still for like 2 minutes, just like looking at a blank screen, just like in disbelief.
I wonder why they do that.
Heartbroken. I don't know. Well, I don't know why they do that, but they shut it all down. It was so painful to watch, so painful to be a part of. But yeah, are we good with Leafs? We're done with Leafs talk? Can we be?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels like just unfinished business.
Empty.
Really, though. Like,
you feel empty.
I'm just like ready to be talking about the Leafs in round 3, and yeah, I don't know. Unfinished business.
Unfortunately, not meant to be.
But what's so irritating though too, the last 2 years, I wouldn't say that necessarily years before that we've been like crazy optimistic, but we've definitely thought it was just different vibes and different feels this year, which makes it just like that much more irritating. Like you bring in a cup winner with Ryan O'Reilly and you have great goaltending, like goaltending not even the issue slightly at all. It's just so maddening. I just want it so bad. And I know the players want it so bad too, like but at times they didn't show it.
So the Toronto Blue Jays swept the Atlanta Braves, the best team in the NL. They're looking hot. They are confirmed going for it. I love the Jays. I will be thinking about the Jays a lot. I will be all in on the Jays all season. This is our year. And let's have a big Jays episode next episode.
Yeah.
Put it all behind us.
No, they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve it, and we deserve it.
Yeah, we do. No, I'm high on the Jays though too. You already know that, but yeah, it's our time. That's like we can't change what happened in that game. We can't change Radko Gudas holding onto Calle Yarncrook's stick, and we just can't change anything about it. So we got to move on.
We do have to end the episode with something.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. A bet's a bet. Dunk, can you confirm?
There was a bet in place.
We are ending the show, and you're lucky we didn't do this at the start. You could have had to suffer through pain throughout the whole episode, even more pain than talking, but you're eating one of these.
And I just have nothing to...
Well, we're ending the episode, so you can go get some water pretty shortly.
Fine.
We played some PGA 07.
Yeah, we did.
07.
On
Yeah, let's get the Cornferno going.
By the way, I suck at golf in real life, but look out, PGA 07.
So
I won the last 2 times before the last time. So
we made a bet the loser has to eat a Cornferno on the episode, and we still have this hottest popcorn in the world. If you listen to the episode where we all had one,
is it within the best before date? I can't be getting sick.
Yep, looks good.
What's it say?
Don't see one, so.
Well, maybe we should confirm that before I eat it.
No, I'd say you're good.
What if there's
Pass
mold
that
on
over.
this piece of popcorn?
There's no mold. It's been like a month.
There was a debatable substance on it.
Yeah,
a month.
Have to get going. There's an important topic that we are bringing up on next episode. A very interesting snack choice for Matthew Poole, and that's going to be a little teaser because we are going to bring that up on the next episode. But enjoy that popcorn, Matty P.
Yeah.
Get it in you.
Yeah, that's delicious, ain't it?
Get an outro song going, but just let's. How is it right away?
Oh, horrible! God, it's so hot. That's horrible. That's not enjoyable at all.
Matty P is leaving the chat.
He's out. Just like that, he's out.
Well, I don't have any substance.
You know where the cups are.
That makes it all worth it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode. To the sickos that enjoy hearing us talk about how much the Leafs are hurting us, you suck, but we appreciate you listening. And to the people that are feeling our pain as well, we will get through this together. We always do. Unfortunately, it's what we know best. Peace.
All that I'll say is far away.
How's that?